Hi, my name is Richard Elwell.
I've been looking for some new power steering for my Fordson Major on the internet for quite a while now. Now, I've been looking at various varieties and stuff like that and whether they would fit my tractor. It's always difficult to be able to try and find a quality product, something of a reasonable price. And looking round it, there's only sort of 2 or 3 different varieties that I could find. One of them just happened to be Agriline, and that's the box it came in, as you can see. Well packaged. I think they're made in sort of Turkey or something like that. But they seem to make quite a few products for power steering. Various sort of replacement kits and bits and pieces like that. Now, around about 15 years ago, I made some power steering for this Fordson Major because it never had any whatsoever. Now, I made it out of power steering off an old Ford duplex coach. Now, over the years, it's got worse and worse. Obviously, when I got it, it was at the tail end of its useful working life. I had to modify various bits and pieces, one of them being the top arm, to which I've had to replace and put a new one on because I had to modify it so much. I had to cut and weld, so I've replaced it with an original type from Agriline again. Just happened to be very good at supplying parts. Just as a matter of interest, with replacing the new one on here, I had to check the track again and adjust the track because it was miles out. The splines were obviously a slightly different position to what the original was, just as a matter of interest. Anyway, the way it fitted, it suggested it would not fit with any form of front loader without modification. So, duly a little bit of modification later, just happened to make it fit. Turn that around a little bit. I had to make a little bit of a cutout, as you can see. So when you take metal out of an arm like that, you have to put metal back in again. Now, it's around about 4mm thick steel that it's made out of, so new plate, I put 4mm thick steel back in. Obviously lifting the suspension up, the axle articulation to its maximum one way, maximum the other way, to be able to get the amount of clearance needed. Also full lock left hand, full lock right hand, and worked out exactly how much room I needed. That's how much I needed on here. Piping up was very simple and straightforward. Pump fits, as you can see, directly onto the chassis down there. 2 bolts, original bolts. The belt that came with it was not correct, unfortunately, so I had to work out what size belt and how to fit it. I actually fitted it on the second auxiliary pulley. Other kits you can actually fit it around the dynamo. I haven't got an alternator on here. I wanted to try and keep it as original as I could. This belt, I think from memory, is just under 900mm long, standard width, and there's enough adjustment on the pump. The actual reservoir is up inside there. I haven't actually got the bonnet lifted at the moment, but ever so straightforward to fit. And that's basically how I fitted the power steering to my Fordson Major. Lovely little bracket that they supplied with it. All the stuff is nice and thick and strong, including the arm, including the ball joint, new ball joint on there. I rebuilt the power steering box as well, just as a matter of interest, so I took all the play out. Built a new little step, especially so that my wife could actually get back on it again without stretching up too far. I also replaced the little bushes in the end of the drag link, both sides. Replaced the swivel bushes and also the swivel bearings in the bottom. The one side was starting to seize up and get a little bit tight, and it was all getting very, very difficult on the steering. And now what happens with the steering, I can actually turn it with the palm of my hand, with the front loader on it, and also with the weight on there as well, quite a considerable weight. So that is basically how I fitted the power steering to a Fordson Super Major. Thanks for watching. Bye.